I'm John Curran, President and CEO of ARIN. I'd like to welcome you all to ARIN 47, our virtualized mode. Okay, as people realize, we're not having a face-to-face meeting. So this is the next best thing. We've had a number of very successful virtual meetings, and I expect ARIN 47 will be the same way. I have some brief introductory remarks, and then I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker. Next slide. Our Board of Trustees is in attendance. Paul Anderson, our chair, Nancy Carter, myself, Peter Harrison, Catherine Middleton, Tina Morris, and Bill Sandiford, our vice chair. Next. Our advisory council that works on the ARIN policies and shepherds them through the policy development process is present. Will help handle the discussions of policies for the next 3 days. Next. Our NRO Number Council. The NRO Number Council is also known as the ARIN, the ASOAC, the Address Supporting Organization Advisory Council. And each of the RIRs elect 3 members to the NRO Number Council. And our 3 members are Kevin Bloomberg, Martin Hannigan, and Louis Lee. And they're here. They work on global policies. They also handle our interface with ICANN in terms of our responsibilities for doing things with our agreement with ICANN, such as helping elect the ICANN board of directors. Next. You have the platform in front of you. This is our Zoom meeting platform that we've used very successfully. I want to say a few quick remarks on how to use it. Many of you are familiar with it because we all seem to have Zoom meetings in the modern age, but it's a little different when we use it in conference mode. So first, there's a chat. For those of you who want to chat with one another, this is the best we can do for hallway conversations during the meeting. And if you click chat, you can bring up a window and chat with the panelists or the attendees. So that's a useful feature. Next, make sure it's all panelists, of course, if you want to talk to all panelists. Next, we'd ask you to keep your remarks on topic, professional. You're still subject to ARIN standards of behavior when you're in the chat window. Next. There's a Q&A. When we get to the Q&A portion of the presentations, you can use the Q&A section. Next. You click there, you enter your questions, will be picked up. If you want to speak live, you can raise your hand and will be recognized. We maintain queues as we always do, and you'll have a chance to directly pose your question. Not all the sessions have direct interactive options, but if we do, you'll click raise hand to get in queue. Okay, go ahead, next slide. I want to remind everyone that the Board of Trustees Chair, Paul Anderson, will moderate the discussion of the draft policies, making sure that everyone can be heard. If you have any comments, any questions, please feel free to ask them. If you do speak, please state your name and affiliation. That includes if you ask a question. We want to make sure we understand who it is that's asking questions. And affiliations, we know you're not necessarily speaking on behalf of an organization, but it helps for identification. So please name an affiliation when you submit questions via the Q&A. The standards of behavior are in the discussion guide and online. I will note that, this is a professional meeting and we have things to get done. Everyone's entitled to a receptive environment, and the standards of behavior help enforce that. If there's issues, feel free to reach out to myself or Paul Anderson. We're happy to address any concerns with people violating the standards of behavior. Next slide. Attendance. We have 114 registered attendees from the United States. We have 14 from Canada, 27 from outside the ARIN region, 7 in the Caribbean region. Next. We are recording and live streaming this. There are people watching it live, and it'll be online afterwards. So keep your remarks appropriate. The slides will be made available. Transcripts of the session will be made available. As usual, because we're making transcripts, I ask that people speak clearly, enunciate your words, put some pauses in, something I'm not known for, but I'm trying. And the materials, the presentations are online right now at arin.net. ARIN 47 materials. The transcripts and the recordings will follow later. Next. Newcomers. We had a newcomer attendee session the other day, and they met with representatives of the board, the AC, and the ARIN staff. They learned about ARIN, and we're drawing a gift card for those who attended. And the winner is? Next.
The winner is Danielle Carroll.
Okay. We're going to email you that gift card. Okay.
Congratulations, Danielle.
Okay. Next. I'd like to now thank our bronze sponsor, Team Cymru, and they're also going to be providing our keynote speaker, Team Cymru's wonderful organization. Next. Our agenda, as I said, we're going to have a presentation. Our keynote speech is going to be up next. And that's David Monier from Team Cymru. A day in internet miscreancy, why security policy and practice matter. Later on, after that, we'll have a break. We'll come, actually, before the break, we'll have a Premier support update. We'll have a presentation on IRR, RPKI, and password security. We'll do a registration services update. We'll have a policy implementation and experience report where we talk about how the policies have fared. Staff pull out select things and handle that. And then we'll have the advisory council report on their activities and their open policy docket. There's going to be a break, and in the break, we're going to have ARIN doing another stretching session. Those have been very well received, and we have trivia coming up in one of the breaks. So with that, I'd like to move ahead. Next. The other thing we have after in the afternoon is a number of policies. We have adopted policy 2020-2. This has been adopted. We're reporting back to the community on it. Draft policy ARIN 2026, allowance for IP allocation swap transactions. Recommended draft policy ARIN 2020-7, as GTLD micro allocation clarification. As I know, recommended draft policies are policies that might actually be adopted after this meeting. So you need to pay particular attention if you need to put comments in or give insight to the people working on them. We also have recommended draft policy ARIN 2020-8, clarify and update 4212 annual renewal fee. And then, as usual, at the end of the day, we do an open microphone available for any questions from people from the community on any matter, including clarifications of things that have come before. So next, I'm now going to introduce our keynote speaker, Dave Monier, Team Cymru, a keynote speech, a day in internet miscreancy, why security policy and practice matter. Over to Dave.